Oh, I love her so much. I love every minute of her. She is. I was really worried because we're about to lose Rachel Zegler forever because Snow White,
Yeah, thank God.
like she's gone from the public eye forever. Um, but Blake Lively is going to be the gift that keeps on giving for all of us because she's going to keep getting roles because of Ryan Reynolds. This woman is just absolutely clueless as to how people see her, as to she thought she was going to get a great payday on Justin Baldoni because she got embarrassed by him, and she went scorched earth, and it is now fully turned on her, and now she has enlisted the aid of a former CIA operative to manage her crisis PR, because the public has turned against her. Her latest trailer, for another simple favor, has been ratioed with dislikes. It's not a Zegler dislike ratio. It's not like millions to tens of thousands, but I mean, it's still a ratio. If I look at it right now, it is another simple favor trailer. It is sitting at 12,000 dislikes to 7,000 likes.
Jesus.
Yeah, so just because Blake Lively is in it, she's basically been outed as a mean girl. But it says, the actress who's simultaneously suing and being sued in multiple lawsuits has now enlisted Nick Shapiro, a former CIA deputy chief of staff and senior advisor to John Brennan, to handle her crisis communications strategy. It's amazing. So a member of her legal team confirmed the hiring, stating that the litigation team for Miss Lively retained Mr. Shapiro to advise on a legal communication strategy for the ongoing lawsuit occurring in the Southern District of New York. Now, but what's interesting is Blake Lively is not the usual clientele for this guy. Like, this guy tends to advise governments. He has extensive government experience, launched 10th Avenue Consulting in 2015 after leaving government service, has handled public crises with political and national security implications. That's not Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni slinging insults at each other. It's so beneath this guy. Yeah, it's like when it's like in Parks and Recreation when Bobby Newport is running against Leslie for town council and they bring in Catherine Hahn as the big DC campaign manager. It is so beneath him, and yet this is what she's doing. CIA implications to manage a PR crisis because of he said, she said nonsense. It's ridiculous.
So bizarre. I heard that the New York Times has now been omitted from the lawsuit. They managed to get out.
Have they? I hadn't seen that yet. Yeah. They must have paid him off then. Baldoni had sued the New York Times for about $250 million because
the judge
the judge threw it out.
That part. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll have to write a follow-up then. But yeah, he's still coming for her like a freight train because basically, like, they did an interview about this movie, I guess before she even really looked at the script, and she was like, "Oh, this is gonna be such a fun movie to take your friends to. Like, it's gonna be a great girls' night out." And then Justin Baldoni, like, on camera, is like, "This movie's about domestic abuse," and you can tell she's so angry at having been wrong and having been corrected, and then just goes scorched earth on the entire production and has dragged Ryan Reynolds into it. By the way, the nice pool thing, I 100% believe it now after looking into it a little bit. When it first came out, where they were like, "Oh, well, it's Justin Baldoni thinks Nice Pool was made to like mock him." I was like, "There's no way." And then I saw a deleted scene where Nice Pool says, my goal is to create a podcast that monetizes the women's movement. And that's what Justin Baldoni did. And then, like, you see the things, like, he does the whole thing where he says he's a male feminist. And then in the end, Blake Lively shoots him to death as Lady Deadpool. Yeah. So I think he's actually got a point there. This lawsuit is just crazy. There's so many twists and turns in it. He went completely scorched earth by putting out that website that has like every text they've ever sent to each other on it. It is wild. And public sentiment has just turned against her. And she thought she was going to accuse this dude of sexual harassment. And because she's Blake Lively and because she's married to Ryan Reynolds, and she's best friends with Taylor Swift, that this was going to just sweep through Hollywood and she was going to destroy this guy. But now she's the new Amber Heard. The Me Too stuff does not work anymore.
Hasn't Taylor Swift been like she's been called as a witness, hasn't she? In the
I think so, because Taylor Swift was is named in it because she like pulled Baldoni aside and basically told him like, oh, give her whatever she wants or whatever like that, like oh, you have to, like, I forget exactly what the quote was, but it was something ridiculous about how you just have to give Blake what she wants. And then things come out like former crew and cast members on Gossip Girl saying that she would waltz around sets just like farting loudly all over the place, like burping and farting everywhere.
I mean, that's just,
I told you,
it's
man,
rude.
it's wild.
Rude.
It's wild how this keeps going.
What a weird thing to do.
I know.
That's someone that just does not give a shit at all, isn't it?
I believe the quote was, she would walk around the set farting loudly and act like we were all lucky to be smelling it.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a little nuts. But yeah, it's fantastic. They've been trying to silence YouTube creators also. Like trying to hide things so that creators can't run with them. It's just insane. It's utterly insane. But you know, if she is a big farter, then at least she can get a role as Harley Quinn coming up soon.
True.
Look, to me, it's not surprising they bring in a CIA person because they're masters of regime change and misinformation, and that's the kind of person that you want trying to derail the stink that is falling upon her. It's her own stink. I mean, whether she farts or not, it's also falling on Ryan. This is not going to go away, and there's going to be worse in the future, because as the trial comes out, they can't hush up the things they're trying to hush up. The judge keeps telling them no, and there's not a win here. The judge has also said they would push this trial forward if they continued to litigate in the press. So there's a decent chance that Baldoni wins this. Have you seen his website?
Oh yeah,
I
poured through it.
It's damning,
full on.
So, you know, look, as much as I don't want this to land on Ryan, Ryan is still part of the problem. This is a playbook he's run before to steal, you know, something for someone else. He's actually going back in time to try to reclaim his advertising company, right? What was that called?
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, Solid Effort. What's that? What's that thing called, Marvin? That he had? It was,
I don't know. I hadn't heard that.
Sorry, Full Effort, or what was it?
Maximum Effort, was it?
Yeah, Maximum Effort.
Yeah, Maximum Effort.
Yep. Yeah, he's trying to reclaim that right now. So yeah.
I didn't even know he had an advertising agency. It's new to me.
Yeah, he Maximum Effort. Obviously, they were a production company, but they did a lot of promotional stuff. Ryan Reynolds and George Dewey put that together as a marketing agency, and he sold it. And now he's trying to strike a deal to buy it back. So, yeah. Anyway.
Bloody hell. What an epic shit show this whole thing is. I think the thing which is surprising to me is the Nick Shapiro thing. That's the surprising thing.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess that's that in hiring someone so overqualified, I think reveals just how worried she is. I think that's what that does to me.
Well, they're screwed.
Mm-hmm. But his bio lists experience with situations such as the Boston Marathon incident, which is, you know, the Boston Marathon mass shoot, and the Gulf of Oil, the Gulf oil spill, the Japan earthquake, the Fukushima disaster, and cybersecurity threats and data breaches. And now he's doing Blake Lively's public image. Like, come on, man.
That's a bit. That's drastic. You're hiring big guns for.
Yeah. Yeah, I ran information for the Gulf oil spill, and now I'm doing this.
But how are they gonna spin her positively? I don't think they can they?
They can at this point. I think public image has turned against her. They've painted this mean girl image around her now. And it's very obvious that she's just trying to weaponize Me Too the way so many other people have weaponized Me Too. And after Amber Heard, it's, you know, I think people have learned that, you know, which, you know, Justin Baldoni, let's not, you know, love on him too much here because I mean he's a male feminist. He's insufferable. He's just an absolute simp of a human being. But he's in the right in this one. Much like Johnny Depp was in the right for the Amber Heard, even though it's a very different scenario. She's in the wrong here, and I think that's going to come out. I can't wait for this to go to trial. I can't wait. I'm going to cover it like it's the OJ. It's the OJ trial.
Do you think that they will? Do you think it'll be a public trial? Has anyone?
I hope so. Public? I hope so, man. My greatest wish right now is that they put cameras in that courtroom. I desperately want that. I will live stream during it. Yeah,
court TV would be brilliant. I'll be on that. I'll be on that. Go on, Nick. You've stayed awfully quiet here, bud.
Well, I don't really get into the whole celebrity drama news stuff. I really haven't been following this that closely, but I did hear that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds basically are worried and scared that Baldoni is going to leak a bunch of private texts with other celebrities. So that could be if that kind of stuff drops and it's like juicy texts. Yes, this could be really bad for them. I've always been a fan of Ryan Reynolds. I thought he was born to play the role of Deadpool. Blake Lively, before all this happened, I was like, she's pretty hot. Like I can see why he made her, but now like her whole persona has completely changed. Nobody likes her. Her career is probably going to be destroyed over this. And this is almost sort of like a FAFO situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be surprised if there's cameras in the courtroom because if they really don't want a lot of this information getting out there. But the thing is, even if there's not cameras in there, it's all going to be public knowledge anyways. So, I mean, people are still going to find out what was going on, what was released. It'll all be public information, the court documents. So, I don't know. It could get pretty juicy, for sure. And if it does, I'd probably maybe pay attention to it a little bit more. It was sort of the same thing with me for the whole Johnny Depp thing. I didn't really follow it or give two shits about that whole thing until it was trial was actually on TV. You actually saw everything they were saying, the whole thing about her taking turds on the bed and stuff. It was just like, this is freaking. Is this like an SNL thing going on?
Mate,
no, it's an actual court case going on.
Depp and Heard was wild, man. That was wild times.
Yeah,
I covered it every single day. It was wild.
I mean, there was people that built their channels off of that trial.
Yeah, I think I gained like 100,000 subscribers in like a couple of weeks from that. It was mental.
Yeah. So yeah, if this thing does end up going to court and is publicly out there for people to see the whole court case, I'll probably pay more attention to it then. But honestly, I really haven't been paying that much attention to it.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. Well, there you go. We got anything else to add to this, guys, or not?
No, just that I think that the thing that really shouldn't be overlooked is the dislike ratio on the trailer for her movie, because that is always the sign that public sentiment has turned. That's how the Zegler stuff started. It's such a great indicator. And you know what was amazing was when Amazon released the trailer for this film, they disabled the comments. You can't comment on the trailer for that film. They left the comments on for Rings of Power.
I know. That's mad, isn't it?
And they disabled them for this. It's
that'll be a request from Blake Lively's team.
Oh, 100%.
That's what that'll be.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, man.
They don't want that one channel to make a song of all the terrible
chat music.
Comments. Oh, so
chat
good.
Music.
I listen to those songs while I'm working.
They're so good. So good. All right, well there you go. Let's shuffle on from this now.